Hey guys, Kevin here. Wanted to do a quick cheat sheet of commands that I've found for the 9800 EWC controllers. So this isn't an all-inclusive kind of cheat sheet. This is just what I found so far. There might be some more stuff that I find going forward. This is definitely focused more on kind of the controller side versus the AP. There's additional commands that I'll shoot a video on for the AP side, like show AP, etc. And as well as there's some new changes in the 9800 for like doing debugs. That's probably like two separate videos, one for the AP and then one for kind of the debugs. So let's hop in and just run through these commands real quick. So the first command is kind of like a simple command, right? Show wireless summary. This just gives you kind of a high level of your wireless, right? So it's got some info. This is a EWC, not a 9800, a real 9800, if you will. So this is going to show me my limits, right? So the EWC is based on a smaller AP, so I'm limited to 100 max AP or 50 max APs, not 100, and then clients is 1,000. It gives you a summary. I do have three APs. One of them is a 4800. So, it gets kind of weird with the 5 gig radios. Also, one of them is a 9130. So they have those XOR radios in them. But it does show you that here, client serving 5 gigahertz. And then a quick client summary. I do have three clients connected to this. Now, this is my lab AP. I turned it on this morning. I've only had a few clients connected, so not a lot of super interesting information here as we go through this. And I would note some of these commands actually don't work on the EWC, uh, which they do work on 9800. So keep that in mind. This isn't it isn't 100% perfect the overlap with the 9800 and the EWC. It's pretty close though. Next command, just show wireless client summary. This just gives you basic information about the clients, right? So their MAC address, which AP they're connected to, the WLAN ID, state, right? These are all in the run state, so they're all up and working. And then protocol, etc. This protocol I don't think is correct because it's funny because it should be 5 gig only. But maybe I have the SSID. We'll take a look. Maybe that SSID is a dual band SSID. Oh, yeah, it is actually. That's a mistake. Should fix that. So then also it has the method. I'm not sure what this is. I think this maybe is Mac off. I'm not. I'm gonna have to look that up. So anyways, let's go ahead. Let's move on to the next one. This is going to show us client AP summary. This is going to show us uh, 5 gig only versus 2.4, which I don't have 2.4. Sleeping client. This is like kind of a splash page thing. If you have sleeping clients there, I don't have splash page enabled on the controller, so it's not going to show you anything. Now this command doesn't show me anything here. I don't know why this hasn't filled out. I guess I'm not sure if they haven't roamed or what, but this is supposed to show you clients join history with details. Um, but it doesn't seem to work on the EWC. I don't know if that's a 9800 thing. Oops. Okay. Other command here. I'm not quite sure what that is. I'm pretty sure I tested this a while ago on the 9800. That's how it ended up on my list. So the wireless client steering, this is going to show you like 802.11kV types settings and their status. So you could run that. It'll tell you the different, micro, macro if you're doing um, uh, the dual band XOR settings with the internal APs, um, which I'm not quite sure why that's on here. But, anyways, probe suppression if you're trying to do band select, it's shown here, and then obviously your 802.11kV settings, which are enabled here. This next command will show you probing. I don't know how useful this is. It just shows you a bunch of probes. These Macs are all fake nowadays. Most devices don't use their real Macs anymore, at least like phones and laptops, tablets, etc. They're all kind of moved away from that. It also doesn't tell you which AP heard it. So I guess it's nice. You can see if the device is probing, but not super useful these days. All right, so next one, let's put in the client information. Let me grab one of these clients here. Now, this command doesn't work. I'm not quite sure. I think this is kind of like a 9800 EWC thing. It says it's unsupported. It's obviously there. This would show you roaming events, which, maybe it needs two controllers. Maybe you need two controllers to see the roaming event. I'm not quite sure. The next one is going to be a client detail, right? So this is a really good command here. It's got tons of information. I would say that it's similar to the web version of it. I would say is similar to this page here with the clients when you click on the client and you can go through these different pages here of information. I think that's kind of what it's trying to show you here. But yeah, let's go through it real quick. So client MAC address, its IP address, the AP that it's connected to via the MAC and via the host name, the policy profile. So it's going to be your wired side settings of the WLAN. Obviously, it's associated. IPSK, I do have IPSK on this WLAN. WLAN ID, the profile. So this is kind of wireless side of the WLAN. SSID, the BSSID, how long it's connected, protocol, what channel, association ID, I don't know what that means, open, timeouts, and the remaining timeout. All right, so this is good to see, how long until clients are dropping. And then let's see, policy name. I don't have any policies for QoS or anything. Data rates, current rate that it's connected at, fast lane support, more QoS stuff here. Sorry, I'm kind of jumping around here. So manage state. So in the run state, if it was like stuck getting an IP address, you would see that here. Obviously, this one is complete. All right, so it's AES with a pre-shared key. I do have AAA override for the IPSK to work properly. It is not doing 802.11w. No EAP, VLAN override after WebAuth. I'm not doing WebAuth. I am doing AAA override though. But it does say no here. Here's the base VLAN for that network. Session manager. Interesting. I wonder what this is. I don't know what the session manager is. This looks like the IP address of the AAA server though. And that shouldn't have been the one that I used though, which is interesting. I don't know where it grabbed this IP from or what it's doing. But here it does show you this is the VLAN with AAA override handed out to it. which is kind of confusing because it says that it's in VLAN 2000 up here, but it's actually in 3004. DHCP snooping, no. Client, CF, channel, listen interval, fast transition. I think I have that on this SSID. Okay. Radio measurement capabilities, none. All right, so there's not too much information. Let's look at another one of them. One of my clients, see if there's more information. So next on the list here, you do see information. This is kind of, I think, how it does its device classifications. I do have the radius, DHCP, and HTTPS, or just HTTP identification. So it's pulling some of this information to help it identify what it is, but it obviously is Xbox. Let's see, what's this other client here? Was this the? Might be an iPhone. I don't know if one of these is a iPhone. Let's give it a shot here. See, yeah, so this one is going to have more information with the roaming. This must have, let's see, I guess maybe that's it. I thought it would say something else. No, I guess I don't have 802.11r. And it would say it, looking at my GUI over here is how I remember where I see it. But it would be under the security. So it would have like FT-AEMC. So let me change this SSID real quick. Let's take a look. Adaptive. Well, it's unadaptive. Interesting, it didn't take it. Well, I'm not going to mess with that too much. I think you guys get the idea. There's a lot of great information in this command. This is one of my, I'll put a little star here. It's one of my favorite commands. Lots of great information. So what's next here? Device tracking. Let's see what this one. I made this cheat sheet a while ago, thinking that I was going to do this presentation like 8 or 9 months ago. I've forgotten some of these commands here. All right, so what does this show you? I don't know what this really shows you here. Device tracking. Show device, VLANs, and all IPs. All right, well, it's probably more useful on a real controller. This has a, you said enter. It'll show you all the APs. Oh no, it does have the other VLANs. What does it say? VLAN 1. Oh, that's because I'm not doing IPSK on those, so it's just dumping it on the native tags. Oh, so that's right. Yeah, this is a good command for showing IPs and the VLANs, etc. Next command, DHCP relay status. I don't do this. My DHCP server has an interface in all these networks, so that doesn't show me anything. I'm assuming if you were doing relay or DHCP proxy, you'd get some info there. This command's good when you're first setting up 9800, especially the cloud version or the VM, to make sure your trust point cert is good, which one you're using. So this is real important when you're getting set up on the cloud one because you have to create that cert. All right, show mobility summary. I don't know this. Yeah, it's not supported on this one. So not super useful here. This command's kind of cool. It'll show you 802.11r information. It'll also show you when it caches a key. So I believe that's what this type is here. So if you got 10 APs and you're walking around, the first time you roam, it comes up with your pairwise master key, and it'll cache it here. And then if you roam back, you don't have to do it. It'll have it cached. I believe that's what that's showing here. It also shows your 802.11 information. So it'd be interesting to move a device around without 802.11r and see if it caches that key everywhere, so that if the client roams back, it's ready to rock and roll. I believe that's what that RSN is type means. All right, so the redundancy, if I had this thing in, I guess the SSO mode, that's pretty much where you use that. Yeah, see that HA status. Yo. All right. Looks like I had jokes when I was setting this cheat sheet up. All right, see why APs aren't joining. Oh, okay, yeah, this is your go-to AP join. I think it used to be on the AirOS, it was AP join statistics or something. Essentially shows you, APs that have tried to join and why they failed, their last failure. These are all connected, so not super useful. No real reason to come here and look at this. But if you're having trouble joining an AP, this is a must-have command here. I'm gonna put a star. I like this one too. Painfully, because I had to use it. This next command is very similar. I guess it just shows you discoveries. So if you had a couple APs and you wanted to look, or a couple controllers and you wanted to see, if discoveries went out, it might not try to join, right? So if you had like 3 controllers and you run this first command here with that AP, you never try to join it because it joined one of the other ones, you could still see a discovery, I guess. All right, so AP session termination. Come on. Give this one a shot here. Did I want to copy this good? All right, here we go. So I don't really know what this shows you here. I guess it shows you. I don't know. I don't know what this command does, but I would probably run it if I was having issues with the APs. And kind of like, earlier at the beginning of this, I said I wasn't going to go over AP commands. This is really like controller side of AP stuff, not actual APs perspective of the network. So these commands are really going to be helpful if you're trying to troubleshoot like AP issues. All right, next command. This just shows you a whole bunch of information about the CAPWAP, right? So again, if you're troubleshooting CAPWAP problems, this is probably useful. All right, next one, the wireless interface summary. This is really going to show you like what you set up your AP management on. Since this is a EWC, it's going to be your gig ETH0. If this was a real controller, it's probably a VLAN interface. Also the IP address. So if you do have a bunch of IPs on your device and a CAPWAP AP sees that interface, I can't join it, right? So say it's like one of your guest VLANs has an interface, it's somehow an AP ends up on it. It might be able to discover the controller on it, but it's not able to join it. It has to know to come talk to this IP on this interface. So this is another good command to have when you're trying to get APs to join. This next command, the NMSP, I guess I don't really say this too much. This is like the old MSE stuff, I believe. But this is really related nowadays to your DNA spaces. We don't have DNA spaces, so it's not going to really show anything. Yeah, MSE or C, it's one of the many iterations there. And my old CWNP cert is escaping me on what the hell that stands for. So I don't ever use it. But maybe you do. So there's the command. Next command here, WLAN summary. This is going to be just a summary of your WLANs. Your SSID, the profile name, security type, status if it's up. Pretty basic stuff. Then you can drill down if you want with this command and just put in the name, right? So let's do that. This gives you a lot of good kind of details of your what the hell is. Here we go. I got it right. So this will just show you all your kind of stats there. This is enable broadcasting, universal AP admin. God forbid you have one of those APs that needs that. Blah blah blah. Security. Um, it's just WLAN settings here. Just kind of give you a quick summary of them. So it's good if you're trying to make sure everything's configured right. All right, what else we got here? Yeah, parameters, this, that, the other thing. That same command works if you want to see all of them. Oops. If you have a lot, it's going to just get kind of busy. So using the name with the actual WLAN is more useful. Now, these commands here, these are going to show you your profile policy, which is profile policy or policy profile, really is the way it should be said, is kind of your wired side settings, right? So this is going to tell you your wired side that you have. And again, it's the same as the WLAN where you can kind of drill down or see them all or have a summary, right? So all detailed or summary. So if we want to go in and see one specific one here, because it again gets kind of busy if you got a bunch, you can go in and it'll show you the VLAN that you have configured. It's going to show you your timeouts, all the wired side settings of your WLAN. The next command is going to be the wireless tag command here. I'm not going to go through all of these because it has all your tags, and then in all your tags is pretty much another triple command, if you will, under each one of these. So like your policy here, which is probably going to be the most important, you're going to have all detailed or summary again. And I would, let's say, let's do summary here to get the name. I don't have anything other than default here. So next we'll do the detail. This is going to show you your WAN and your wireless side of the WAN and your wired side of the WAN or WLAN. It's going to show you here how you have them tied together, right? So your WLAN profile policy, if you will, and then your policy profile. And I'm sorry, it gets really into a tongue twister here with they got multiple things named policy and profiles. But anyways, this is where you see the wireless side and the wired side, how you have them combined. And it should show you. I don't have it set on this, but how you do your RLANs, the profiles that you have for that to tie. What you want. Port 1 to do, port 2. I think if I had any of that configured here, it'd probably show up here as well. Next one are MDMS or MDNS settings. I don't have MDNS. Man, I can't talk. I don't have MDNS set up on this, so none of these commands are going to show you anything. But they're here in case you were trying to troubleshoot a Chromecast or an Apple issue with MDNS. The next one, this is the Show Tech Wireless. This command is going to show you. It's going to show you everything that you would ever want to see. I had to bump this up, even with just a couple APs. I had to bump this up to like 50,000 lines with buffering on my terminal here. It's just a lot of information. I'll kick it off though here. Let's paste it in. But it's going to have literally all your commands that are relevant to wireless. This is also the command with the new like config analyzer, and I know they changed the name to something. But for the 9800s, this is the command that you're going to run to get the file to import into that tool. And it's just a lot. So I would recommend that you know, output the console to a log file. Then you can run this command and it'll put it in that log file. Or if not, you're going to have to make the buffer real big. And if you have a lot of APs and a lot of clients, I have a feeling that this command won't work. You're really going to have to output it to a file. Another trick that you can do is you can run this command and it's going to give you uh, information on the network that you can like reuse. It should show you the commands here. Let me see when this thing stops. Commands for information that you'd like, and then you could add those to your own little cheat sheet. All right, well, this is gonna, oh, we're finished up. Yeah, so see this command here, you could come and, you know, paste it in. So you could scroll through this thing if you really have extra time on your hands and like pick out cool commands that you want to save that might be useful. All right, well, that's it. The next one is going to be a shorter one just on the AP commands. Then I think I'm probably going to put together a like a troubleshooting with the trace and maybe how to do packet captures from the AP. All right, well, I hope you enjoyed. Thanks.